Okay, well, I got a new bottle of Adderall Monday and Saturday. They've been good. I've only had one extra. Um, and not perfect good, but good. Um, 6 days, one extra. Um, the I'm also just starting last night. I told myself I woke up yesterday. I said, yeah, by Monday I want you coding 4 hours a day. This is you're just playing at it. I know it's discouraging because you 2, 3 times a day you have to learn something new, a new way of doing something, something like unit testing, which I won't bother explaining. I've never done that with this language before, and things like that. Or the or that I write code something up and then it tells me to do it differently. Grok does. He still does. Last night I put in at least three, probably 4 hours, and by Monday I would be doing 4 hours, if not maybe not one block, but doing 4 hours, and by Friday I'll be doing six. Um, in addition to the cleaning and the exercise and hygiene, that's really kind of fucking it, right? There's not much else I can do. It's a phone call I have to make and everything off. Um, stuff like that, right? So, but I try to envision myself as a graduate working itself out the neck of a bottle and meeting blunt old fashioned sort of way as far as what's available to me. And they call them bottlenecks, the no money, the horrible fitness, the agoraphobia, and I'm working on all three. And it's got to pay off if I stick to it. And doing it because it's so rewarding is just bullshit. That's all I got right now. I have maxed out on 2 mood stabilizers and the depression setting in since getting straight with the Adderall. Um, Amphetamines are an off-label but FDA-approved use of treating depression, and I'm not gonna get more Adderall. I'm not gonna get more mood stabilizer. My psychiatrist, my first one, said that he believed that any antidepressant would destabilize me. So this is it. If I want to feel better, I have to accomplish more with each day than I would ordinarily, so I can look back on the day and feel better about it. And then there's exercise. And the problem is, of course, depression works against both of these things. It discourages exercise because you don't have the energy, and the pessimism keeps you from doing more with each day. And it's not a good situation to be in, but it's what I got. And the pressure can be around for a while. The mood was up for some time, and because the high mood was drug induced, maybe I won't suffer the standard twice as long depression period after the up mood. I hope not, because that would be about a decade. That would destroy the rest of my life. Um, and so hopefully that's not the case. I I don't know. There's something that I thought, well, you could ask Garfield this ahead of time, but then I decided, because it is supposed to be a learning experience in addition to getting it done, and I seem to be, with the little bit of time I'm putting into it, an hour or two some days, still just clipping right through it. And so this is about the result date, and I think, well, how would, based on other stuff I've seen Grok, how would it do this? So let me code it myself and then ask it for how it wants me to change it, even though it'll be disheartening and blah, blah, blah. At least I learned something by trying to do it myself first. That's about it. And life is dull. I play Final Fantasy 14. I don't like it too much. I can play it in small quantities. I can't go on 4-hour binges. If I were to get all the Amazon bags out of here, and there are a bunch, the downstairs would be cleaner than usual by quite a bit. The upstairs is dirty as hell. Need to do laundry. I think I brought this up. Val, a guy who taught with my dad, who taught psychology, has been coming over every other week. I said last time I saw him, not every other week. We had every other week. He didn't come this last week. He's coming next week. He says in DC this week. Last time I saw him, I said, "Hey, listen, if like every 3 or 4 months, if you keep coming in by and just check up on me and make sure nothing's absolutely horribly wrong," he said, "Absolutely come every week." It really surprised me. So let's see. I can't wait to tell him I get a job. I don't talk about it because he's a psychologist. He knows how schizophrenics turn out. I received some of the best care I received probably the very best care in the city with my psychiatrist. His fellowship at a private hospital that cares exclusively for schizophrenics, and I had the perfect dad for it too, being a psychologist. Right? He didn't try to do therapy or any of that. He just understood this is the reality of things. This is what I can work with, and so. It's unheard of for maybe a 7-month stint as a guy who mops the floor at the drugstore or something. But actual career is just not done. So I can't wait to tell him I get the job. Because I don't talk about it. Every now and then I would do it, but I don't talk about it. The program Grok has me on. Speaking of which, I stayed up all night and did extra exercises this morning. I should do that. No, because I don't tell me to weigh myself. I don't weigh myself after being up all night. I just taught it as a damn drum. I know that it's got to leave my body eventually, right? However that happens, I get like 20 pounds of water in me. And you're not going to get 20 pounds without diet and exercise or basic, but at least 5 would be nice. So I'm exercising a lot. And it comes up with this routine. It says, see, just 10 to 12 minutes, and I fucking blow through it in 6. I struck out your saying water. So now it came from. It told me this. It actually said this. I knew that my experience was if I drink something sweet, like a big jug of fruit juice, then that's with me for a little bit. I got 2 things at Starbucks creamer in a row, and they're probably like 2,700 fucking calories a piece. I drink them both in 3 days. I could do it on the trash. I don't know, maybe only 13. It's so horrible, right? And then Doc says, well, yeah, sweet liquids plus caffeine too. And of course, I had 2 pots of coffee all the way up to the 12 line each of those 3 days. And so that's what did me in. Just don't say, oh, fuck it, I should be fine another week. Not make that mistake again. So I had 19 hours of sleep last night. The Adderall was actually at 60 instead of 40 now. And when I first saw that, because I didn't know ahead of time, the first night I was up all night, and because there were 3 pills, they lasted till like 2 a.m. and then 6:30. So it was always my rule. I was trying to normalize my intake for a new day starting, so I'm up all day again. And then the next night I take the next night, Tuesday night, I take 1 extra, and Wednesday I sleep on the sofa for 5 hours. That's like my first sleep, and then I'm up all night again. And Thursday I go to bed at around 3 p.m. and I sleep for 19 hours. Wednesday was just speeding my head, 19 hours. So already I'm basically over the insomnia. I'm over the I'm not over the long day insomnia. I'm over the just plain can't fucking sleep insomnia. I only slept 4 hours, which is what was so bad about it. What's the difference? The difference is I would be awake for 20 hours and sleep 4.5, and then couldn't sleep at all the next night, sort of thing, just zero. So this is just sitting awake until 4 a.m. But unfortunately, it's past midnight. I'm not sticking to the 6:30 rule. And this 3 days is so many, frankly. And so now I gotta wait till I develop more of a tolerance. So I sleep between every 3 doses. I sleep as opposed to taking 4 or 5 and then sleeping. And they don't keep you awake, particularly if you actually take actually more than 1 at a time, which is really risky business because you can get hooked at the higher dose. I was scared to death. I thought, oh my God, my life's over. I mean, it's implode completely, and then I handle it. Not so good, but I handle it really well. After 19 hours of sleep, of course, I only go 24. I had 5 doses back to back to back, but I take them every 5 hours now. So that's when I wake up, and then 20 more hours. So I suppose an hour ago. So 19 hours down, 21 hours up. And but because my mood's down, I don't have much to worry about. I had amphetamine psychosis, but you sleep that off. You get 8 hours of sleep without speeding your brain, and amphetamine psychosis is gone. There's a risk of falling behind on the pills. I'm too responsible these days to do that. I don't like being unstable. The risk is my mood, and the only way that's a problem is if I pile it on. And even then, you don't have to pile it on. If it's in you constantly enough without any breaks. But the thing is, my mood's low from the depression, so if I can even get it back to even, I'd be happy. And probably would abuse it to do so. And depression is like, have fun, right? And without getting above even, it's not going to. A spark mood disorder with a little bit of psychosis is just fireworks as far as psychosis goes. But with a little bit of depression, it's nothing. I don't quite know what happened with the Adderall. The bottle says that there are 60 in the bottle. There aren't. My hands were shaking too bad for me to count all of them. I got up to 170. 1 second, sweetie. I think I've done this in the past. Now, pharmacists fill pills for a living, right? They do it all day long. And Adderall is probably a pretty popular prescription. It's a common one, right? And this is like a little pill counter. I only use it for Adderall. The reason I use it is because once every month and a half, it doesn't happen often, I think if I had already taken the Adderall. I don't know for sure. Now, it was filled up from Monday all the way to today with 3 pills a day instead of 2. And this is the size of an Adderall. Okay? And this is the bottle. Okay, now nobody would believe that's 60 pills, especially with 6 times 3, 18 already missing. No pharmacist would make that mistake. So why did it happen? Well, there's the cynical, paranoid as hell explanation of I'm going to ruin your life, you're going to implode with these, and then there's the stupid ass, I would risk my career for this explanation. Well, you deserve to get off. And then there's the one thing that kind of makes sense. It's all done by computer. You know, if you get a prescription from the hospital, they write that out for some reason. I think still. Most of it's done by computer, right? And I think my doctor put a note in the file. The pharmacist, for whatever reason, nodded her head and went along with it. So it must have been very convincing, though. My doctor is 84. He's in his 80s. That's obvious. I shouldn't say 84. He's in the first half of his 80s. And he just doesn't give a shit anymore about his license or any of that. He's probably worried me to kill myself. He asked last time I saw him if you were having any suicidal thoughts. I smiled and made a joke. My theory is that I'm constantly experiencing suicidal hopelessness and the pills just buoying me. And there are times when that's very true. But he knew the answer. He was warning me, watch out for the depression. He's a man of very few words. I know that's what he was doing. So it could be he knows it'll keep me alive. And he knows if I make good use of it, he believes I will because I am compliant on 2 pills a day, that it will give me a bit of a jump start that I frankly need with the depression. I don't know that's the reason for sure. I'll never know why it happened. What I do know is with about 200 pills in that bottle, and I'll still get 60 a month. I'll have enough for 3 a day for about 4 or 5 months, which could carry me to a job where we prescribe 3 a day. We'll see. I'll try to hurry. 4 or 5 months is a close call for the job. That's an optimistic time frame for the job. Let's put it that way. And Grok thinks it's going to take me 2.5 more months to finish this, and I've only been working an hour or two a lot of days, and a few days none. And that's going to really change. But 3 months altogether, it said. I think I can do it in 2. I'm not positive. Kind of almost like starting now, so really 2.5. And then I can start applying for jobs after. I'm going to spend some time with it, with my LinkedIn page. I spend some more time on my portfolio site, and then the resume itself. And I'm also going to do it the smart way. I am not taking time off from life to apply for jobs. I'm going to keep programming and just apply for like 2 jobs a day. That's what it wants, I think. Yeah, it hasn't specifically said that, but it must be working on a project while I apply for jobs. So we'll see what I can do. How much do I make? Remote positions don't pay as well as they used to during the COVID stuff. A mid-level remote position with a company like Amazon paid $160. And shit, it required 3 years of experience and likely a degree from a very big university. The remote positions these days, you have to take a pay hit to get them. At my level, the stuff that, unfortunately, my experience is self-employed, but I can sell myself well at my level. I can expect 80 to 120. So, I guess that's it. There's no more to say. It had nothing to do with that last damn game. Elaine. She's worth talking about, I guess. So I'll probably just get myself in trouble with either her or somebody else. I am discouragingly right about things about her that bother me. For instance, it's more important to her to see me like this, maybe not this flat, but to see me like this, to see me as stable as I've been the previous 3 weeks, but still hear my voice every now and then. So she knows that I'm not just curled up and hallucinating. That is more important to her than me having a job. In fact, if I did that and lost the weight in time I could not do it in like 2 or 3 months, that'd probably be enough. She'd hop on and play cheerleader / motivator for the job. I recognize that the things that she could have done that would have really spared me a lot of pain, delusional thoughts aside, things I'm certain of. Why didn't she? I don't know. I think that part of it is she wanted me to sleep around. I was incapable of doing so because of my mental state. And I hate to think the sort of people I come home with regardless, given my shyness. But I didn't want to. It didn't even occur to me to. I know the two tie together somehow, but I don't know how. She was encouraging me to dislike her. So, and I understand that it really fucking hurts that it took me years longer than I thought it would just to get here and not even have the job yet. And it only really fucking hurts when I think about it and her at the same time. But the same sense of very warm and at the same time very peaceful, secure love is still there. As though it doesn't matter what she feels, however, anyway. And it doesn't bother me if I never talk to her again. Though it would, but that's how it feels. Though wherever she goes in this life, I'll remember her a certain way. I feel very old since getting straight on the Adderall. Very. Even a shot in a relationship, another shot in a relationship, the way it feels like is just something that doesn't fit into how things function to such an extent that it's unlikely to be. However she feels about me and however I feel about her, just the implausibility of it. And I've got to admit, and this is me making things complicated, this is me being stupid, but it's so true that a very, very large part of wanting to mend things is something one of the therapists at my psychiatrist's office said 20 years ago. You're going to marry a doctor and leave the most beautiful woman you've ever seen at home crying her eyes out for you. I want to prove her wrong. Why? Not to prove to her that she doesn't know me. No, she didn't, of force. Not really. Sure, she was a gifted therapist, but well, she might have been. But I know she wants me to prove her wrong. She was clearly very attractive in her youth. She was already almost 50 by the time I started going there, but anyway. What I've discovered about beauty is you really cannot love somebody for being beautiful. As much as you might want beauty, you won't love them for being beautiful. You will just love the beauty. If you love someone who is beautiful without loving the beauty, you will find them impossible not to forgive because of the beauty. That's the way it works, I think.